What is up, nerd friends? Welcome back to the Nerd Bench. Today we're going to talk about Hobbywing programmers, which one you need, what speed controls they work with, and what's the difference. So if you're familiar with the Hobbywing series of speed controls in the surface stuff vehicles that run on the ground with wheels, we have the QuicRun series, the Ezrun Max series, and the Xerun XR series of speed controls. QuicRun series, those are going to require the LED program card 99.9% of the time. There's 2 or 3 speed controls in the series that still have some onboard tuning ability, but to change parameters, change settings, tune the speed control, the LED program card is the guy that you're going to want. In the Max series, you kind of get the best of both worlds. Max will work with the LED program card, and it'll work with the LCD program box, and it'll work with the OTA Bluetooth module. And in the Xerun XR series, XR10s, XR8, stuff like that, the LED program box Pro and the OTA are required for speed control tuning. Any speed control can be operated out of the box without a programmer. They'll all calibrate, do the install, get set up, and function fine on their default settings that are in fact listed in the instruction manual. So if you ever think that you have to buy the programmer to do basic testing, not necessarily true, but if you want to do any fine-tuning, motor rotation, stuff like that, you're definitely going to want to pick up a programmer. For the QuicRun series, if you get a QuicRun or a Max series, you're going to get the LED program box, and it's going to have a sticker on it. These boxes are just very ultra simple displays for the settings that are inside of the speed control. So if your sticker doesn't match your speed control, you can always reference the setting chart that is in the speed control's instruction manual. They're also all available online, of course, if you don't have your paper manual anymore. So in the QuicRun series, several of them, particularly the ones that have G2 in the name and the stuff that has come out since the LCD Program Box Pro has been released, they actually do work with the LCD Program Box Pro. They just do not support the Bluetooth function or any of the usage with the app or any of the firmware updates. They just work in standalone mode only. So the LCD Program Box Pro and the OTA can be used on a lot of the same speed controls, but the LCD Program Box Pro will work as a standalone unit, and it also has Bluetooth built into it. There's an OTA module jammed inside of this guy. Not really, obviously, but the circuitry's all there. So you can do the best of both worlds. You can do standalone tuning for quick adjustments, or you can use the app and the Bluetooth to set everything all the way up. Firmware updates are included in that. You can update the box itself. One thing I do want to mention, the multifunction LCD program box, the G2 version, the one that has the blue text on the front of it, and it has the USB Type-C plug on the end of it. This guy still does have some database updates that allow it to work with most of the modern speed controls in its standalone unit. So if you have one of these around, don't toss it just yet. Hook it up to your Windows computer with the Hobbywing USB link program installed, and you can do a database update that'll get this guy a little more modernized. It does not work with the box that has the white lettering on it or the micro or mini USB-C style. It only is this latest, or the final version of what this guy was. Also, if you have a Wi-Fi Express, this guy is long discontinued. For the most part, once a programmer gets discontinued, the speed controls that come out after that aren't going to be supported, and the Wi-Fi Express is a victim of that as well. So if you are having a Wi-Fi Express in your toolkit and you try to use it on your new speed controls, I've had guys tell me it works, but 9 times out of 10, it maybe works, it doesn't really work. So Wi-Fi Express is kind of another one that's kind of gone by the wayside. An important thing to note, if you're using the OTA or the Bluetooth functionality of the LCD Program Box Pro and you run into any connection errors or issues, what needs to be updated is the actual Bluetooth itself, and that's not listed under firmware. So you go into the app, connect like normal, then you go to settings in the app, then in that next screen you'll see settings of the Bluetooth module, and into that screen you'll see a firmware, and that's the actual firmware for the Bluetooth itself. And these firmware updates have to happen for various protocol reasons, for whatever changes in the greater world of Bluetooth technology, but it's usually to do with the phones, not so much. We would never change that if we didn't have to, but you will run into occasional connection issues. update that first and foremost. So in standalone mode, if you plug in the LCD Program Box Pro, you can get either a firmware or a database update error. And firmware is referring to the speed control, database is referring to the actual box itself. There's actually files inside of here, so it's more than just a display for what's in the speed control. It has to know what's going on. And to do that, that's another one that it's a little trickier to find. So to get to the database updates, you're going to connect through the app like you normally would. Then you'll go to settings in the app. Then you go to settings of the Bluetooth module, and there you'll see the database, and you can run that update. Something else to note, when you're doing firmware updates, if you get interrupted in the middle of a firmware update and for whatever reason it fails or it disconnects or whatever the case may be, just run the update again. A lot of times people think the speed control's ruined after that because the firmware fails. Or the update fails rather, they turn it back on and nothing works and it won't connect. It's because it's in the middle of an update and it gets disconnected. The next step after that is to reconnect and try to rerun the update. 99.9% of the time, that'll fix it. It'll finish the update or it'll start the update process completely over and it'll take care of that. So to avoid that, make sure you turn your screen lock off on your device when you go to do this. I like to put it in airplane mode so I don't get any calls and none of the apps in the background are trying to update. Like I don't have my Wi-Fi turned on, any of that stuff. So it's just kind of a safety first type of deal to make sure that you don't have any problems. I've done it other ways and sometimes it's fine, sometimes it's not, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm any sort of phone or app expert, but we've learned that the safest way to do it is put your phone in airplane mode and do your updates that way. The other one that comes up often that's a common mistake is connecting the programmers to the speed controls. It's common to think that because it looks like a receiver plug that you're going to take the receiver wire from the speed control and plug it into the box. Not the case for speed controls in probably the last 4 or 5 years. There have been speed controls that program through that receiver wire, but that's kind of gone by the wayside now. There are speed controls in the QuicRun series that have a dedicated programming, a single wire. It's usually the yellow wire or the auxiliary channel input. That guy actually gets plugged into the side that says ESC where the funny little symbol is. That's for the signal. And then the box, if you turn everything on, it won't power up. So you take your receiver plug and you plug that into this other side. So you use both of the wires at the same time. That way it gets power and it can be tuned. In the XRun series, the Max series, and pretty much a large majority of the QuicRun series, there is a dedicated programming port, or looks like a fan port on the speed control. It'll be a 3-wire pin that looks just like a receiver plug, and the double-ended harness that comes with the programmers goes into the ESC side and then plugs into that port. You turn the speed control on. The speed controls have to have batteries in them for them to work. That's another one that we run into, is that for the programming system to work, you power the speed control, not the program box. I have had people report that they've plugged a battery into the box and then hooked that up to the speed control. The speed control has a battery in it. They turn that on. It's a bad time. There's power going opposite directions, and usually there's some melted wires that get involved. So for most speed controls, the speed control gets the battery pack and the programmer gets plugged into the speed control's programming port. Turn the speed control on, it powers the programmer, and away you go. The other one that I run into is people saying it doesn't save my settings. I've gone in, I made setting changes, and I go run my car, I don't feel any difference to come back, and none of my settings are changed. You have to hit save, or on the LED program card, you have to hit enter, or in the app, you have to hit save as well. Otherwise, none of the settings get put into the speed control. So that's an important one that gets overlooked all the time. If you don't hit save, if you don't hit OK, if you don't hit enter, it's not going to do its job. While that's not a super deep dive in all of them, it covers the most important stuff that you're going to need to know. And maybe it is a little bit of a deep dive. I just don't want to bore you guys with videos like this too often. If I left anything out, if you've got any questions, you can leave it in the comments down below. I read through those and we address them on the podcast. If you didn't know, we have a podcast. It's called RC Stuff, powered by Hobbywing. You can find it on your favorite podcast service, or you can go straight to the source at anchor.fm/Hobbywing. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us directly, northamerica@hobbywing.com. And as always, folks, thanks for watching another episode of The Charlie Show right here on the Hobbywing official YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.